If at all, how does your creative process differ between collaborative efforts, like namely Basshead Jazz, your group, and music that you have that's intended to be released just as Odie James? And what are the strengths and weaknesses of each of those methods?
So for the record, I'm not really a rapper, right? You know what I'm saying? I rap a lot, but I'm not a rapper at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't develop skill in say like a cipher, you know what I'm saying, or nothing like that. So most of my songs start with a melody, you know. And with that being the case, like sometimes I end up I I, I feel like I have very strict cadences, you know what I'm saying? But like not to the point where I'm giving like or trying to give a full 16 or full 32. You know what I'm saying? Which is typically what you do as a rapper. So I was raised on gospel. You know what I'm saying? I was raised on gospel and blues, and so I feel like that being like the foundation of where it happened for me. You know what I'm saying? That's always gonna shine through heavier than rap or hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely what set it apart from Basshead Jazz because even though I feel like all three of us in Basshead Jazz have an immense like musical palette, I think the core of what we were doing or what we still do is still like we want to rap. You know what I'm saying? When we first started out, that was actually kind of challenging for me because, like I said, I'm not a rapper, but like CJ, for instance, is a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm looking at him like I don't know how I'm gonna keep up. You know what I'm saying? But like, ironically, the more like we made songs, the more I'm like starting to realize like, oh yeah, I actually do have a lot of skill. You know what I'm saying? Same with Sid. Like she's more like me. It's like she was a singer in band and all that, and then she hears us rapping and it's just like, okay, I want to do that too. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so like for me, what would start is like I said, a melody would just kind of be us like throwing out words in bass head jazz, and then like going from there. You know what I'm saying? Like I I still have um the want for myself to do a project, musical project that has no words and just like scatting and and just the music. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that. I don't think that would ever happen with Basshead Jazz because I think we too in love with words as a unit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. And also, like, I'm a dancer. Like I dance professionally, but like not. I don't move around a lot with my music necessarily as much as I do with Basshead Jazz. Because with Basshead Jazz, like it's three of us, so we kind of got to be intertwining and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But with my music, it's like I don't mind just standing there. You know what I'm saying? Which is so weird because I'm the dancer. I don't know how that worked out, but yeah, that's how it works. Some weird way. Yeah, yeah.
So your music is definitely unapologetically Southern.
Indeed.
Uh, how do you think your music or your subject matter or anything like that would differ if you were from somewhere else like Connecticut?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, so I do have family in Connecticut.
Okay.
And but the funny thing about them is they're somewhat just like me, but just opposite because they're from a different area, right? Like I grew up very like I don't want to do whatever you just said I should do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just do my own thing, or I'm gonna at least attempt. And so I feel like that's definitely what made my music very unapologetic. But if I was from Northeast, man, like it would I would I would probably be doing heavy like EDM. I think.
Really?
Yes, I think that would be the case. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Because like considering it's so much dance culture centered around the Northeast. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like that's what gets people going. You know what I'm saying? Like down here, blues gets people going. You know what I'm saying? And so being like able to absorb my surroundings, I think EDM would like be my true trade. You know what I'm saying? Like funny story, like in New York, we was on tour and I can't remember the name of this club, but like I remember getting there at like 9:13 and went in and like it wasn't a huge club. It wasn't even a whole lot of people there. It might have been like it was a bar and then like a bar slash restaurant and then it was a dance floor like way in the back of the club and whatnot. And yeah, like got there like 9:13 and then I didn't leave until like 6:50 a.m. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember like just dancing like gone. You know what I'm saying? The whole time like and it was a mix of house EDM, you know what I'm saying, and a little bit of jazz and funk in there as well. But like, yeah, that was where I was, and I'm like, I could I could have did this growing up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have been all for it. So yeah, I think I would definitely be into electronic music a little bit more. Like I'm still into it now, but then yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, indeed.
So, emotional, intellectual, metaphysical.
Mm.
Which of these do you most hope to connect to your listeners on? And do you think those connections are more likely to be made lyrically or musically? And do you have a method for achieving that?
So a method, no, because uh, I think like I said prior, like is mostly a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like how I come up with songs. But I mean, well, I guess the method would technically be like the kind of freeness I allow myself with writing. You know what I'm saying? Because with writing, I try to do as much like I wouldn't even know how to explain it, but like some of my inspirations in writing are anthropologists. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, or Neil Hurston. So the way she writes and a lot of stuff, I feel like I adopt that kind of spirit in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, I adopted within the use of ebonics. You know what I'm saying? Like I I either use it by writing it out for myself to see or some type of way I voice it. You know what I'm saying? Or I make the sound of whatever word it is. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that kind of would be the method in a sense. Um, and really, I want that to be received spiritually more than anything. Um, like there's a and for me this is where it is. There's a certain gap in the awareness of like the importance of language and the importance of conveying it in my community and just really in just human kind for real. So yeah, trying to like put it out there first that like, hey, however I said this, however it may sound, like it may sound abrasive on the top, but like if you actually look it up and digest it or whatever it might be, like you gonna find something to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I have I have a tendency to just say things like "Spirit is calling" in my songs or anything, something like that. And I don't like. I mean, I don't know how many people that just that one phrase. You know what I'm saying? But for me, like this, it's a lot to that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more than just saying like, "Hey, you in church," or "Hey, you like," you know what I'm saying, praying. It's the spirit of love, the spirit of you know what I'm saying, the spirit of anger, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say yes, definitely spiritually, and trying to convey it through words is mostly where I am right now. Um, it does happen through sound because like my kind of calls to the wild are called to spirit, like where I make like super like how would I explain this? Um, it's like I almost shriek, but like not like not like chalkboard. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's more
Yeah.
like it's definitely some sort. I mean, James Brown and definitely like
Yep.
that would be a one of the ones you would go to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like how I do that. It's like if you hear if you within first of all if you're in the room and you hear it, you have to kind of be like, oh, what was that? And then if you like engrossed to like say a performance, then you kind of like, wait, what's going on? You
Uh
know what
huh.
I'm saying? So it's like it's two parts to it where you have to like have some kind of awareness for it, you know. And I'm grateful for that because like I didn't even grow up with that. Well, I mean, I did in church, but like it's still like I remember when I technically learned how to sing. Um, my course director definitely wasn't telling us to just randomly belt out a note that you know what I'm saying wouldn't go on the scale. You know what I'm saying? But somewhere along the way, I adopted that. So it gets personified in words. You know what I'm saying? And then that goes into like yeah the actual like research behind what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because actually another thing with the lyrics, it's not often that people tell me about my lyrics. It's not very often, which I know it stems from like sometimes I'm not what's the word legible. It's not legible. Is I don't know. Sometimes you can't understand what I'm saying, which is fine. But uh definitely like if you do understand and you do ask me like, hey, were you saying this or whatever, and then I tell you like, yeah, that's what I was saying, or that's not what I was saying. I was saying this. 9 times out of 10, people go and research. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like why was this said? Like, okay, what else did he say? You know what I'm saying? And so that definitely makes me feel like I'm doing, God's work. You know what I'm saying? Cause I don't know how I come up with a lot of stuff I come up with. Honestly, it's just there. You know. So yeah, yeah. I think that's yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah.